Hi everyone, this is Watchables and my name is Kane. August wasn't a very productive month for me due to some personal issues, so I'm playing catch up this September. I still have a couple, as in 2, favorites movies to review. One of them is this one. Today's movie is more of a common favorite of movie lovers than my first 2 picks. The Shawshank Redemption usually finds its way onto each and every best movies list, and it's also a favorite of mine. It was released in 1994 and was directed by Frank Darabont. The movie is based on the novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. It stars Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Clancy Brown and Bob Gunton, among others. The story follows Andy Dufresne after he's been sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences for murdering his wife and her lover. But Andy claims he's innocent. Just like every other inmate of the Shawshank Penitentiary, the prison he's come to call home for a long time to come. He meets Red, who's been in Shawshank for 20 years already, and they strike up a friendship. Andy makes a lot of friends and allies during his time, one being Warden Norton, for whom Andy launders money. But that tenuous partnership can only go so far, because at the end of the day Andy is an inmate, and Norton is a Bible-thumping man without scruples. The movie is a fascinating look at what makes a criminal, and how the penal system can be very corruptive. Andy remarks on this when he says that in the outside world he was a stickler for rules, and he only became a criminal behind bars. The movie plays out over several decades and is narrated by Red, who is up for parole every 10 years, but is always rejected until he calls out the system and says he doesn't care anymore. Then he's released. The whole story is saturated with this kind of duality, like the hypocrisy of the warden, the brutality of the guards, and how an old man can survive prison only to kill himself when he's finally released. Every time I watch this movie I promise myself to read the story. I've read Stephen King since I was 10, but never got to this one somehow. It seems less like a horror story like most of King's work, and more of a story about humanity in places where it fails, like prison. While the story in the movie doesn't really moralize, it would probably not work if Andy was guilty. The fact that Andy is innocent is vital to our involvement, even while we have compassion for Red, who is actually guilty. The ending makes for a happy one, where the 2 men meet on the outside. I think it's a love story, without ever thinking that either of the men is gay or bisexual. I just think they've come to love each other. The ending sure is like it should be. The evildoers are punished, the guilty have served their time, and Andy is on the beach living his best life. The fact that it's not corny or sappy lies in the years injustice has prevailed. The audience relates to that, not in the way that everyone's been imprisoned for murder they haven't committed, but in how we endure small injustices and kind of hope that there will be a time that makes up for it. A big part of the appeal of this movie is how Tim Robbins portrays Andy Dufresne, as a smart but quiet type who brings a sense of hope to a hopeless place. In his quiet way he helps his fellow inmates, even while horrible things are done to him. He never gives up. His smile is one of patience and enduring kindness. It's a remarkable performance, but far from the only one in this movie. I'm honestly always surprised of how much I love this movie, even while it has no female characters worth mentioning. Anyway, it's a brilliant movie, and like so many other prison movies it barely ages, since imprisonment is such a universal, timeless predicament. If you somehow never watched it, give it a go. It's considered among the best movies of all time for a reason. Thank you for watching my video. It's a little longer because the movie has a lot to give, a lot of which is under the surface. If you want more videos like this, subscribe and like and comment. I'm always open to suggestions. The Shawshank Redemption is hell yeah watchable.